Good morning. It's me, Annalisa. It's Sunday, the 14th. No one is here yet. So I'll kind of talk about some stuff that happened. I changed the times up because I can't do readings this afternoon. If no one ends up being here, then that's okay too. So I don't know if anybody knows, but on Friday the energy was like pretty weird. I what was that day? The 12th. Um, why did I have to think so hard about that? Um, I missed the trash pickup. And then I totally blanked on having a client. Like I knew I had a client, but then I was in the shower. And when I got out, I was like, oh God, because she sent an email. She's like, I'm here, I'm waiting. She was so nice and gracious. Good morning, Katrina. Good morning, Cindy. I know the next one. Yay. I was in the city yesterday doing there was a psychic fair for the Spiritualist Church of New York City. And I went in and I was expecting, like, worried about traffic from the game and from people doing watch parties and then also from FIFA, but I don't think there was that much traffic from FIFA. But the city was like everybody was wearing Knicks shirts. It was really cool. This is the first one we've had, Cindy, since before COVID. They haven't done one, and so I mean, I kept putting it on my Instagram and everything like that. I guess I should have sent it out in my email. I think I forgot, but I posted it other places. Aloha, Christine. Welcome. But it was like, I think it was like I didn't eat until 4:30 yesterday in the afternoon. I just was like busy getting the kids ready and getting them to their respective spaces that they need to be and have all the things they needed. Oh, you're on their email, but you had the kids. Yeah. So I said I would do it and I completely forgot. Joelle, I got your payment. I completely forgot. Didn't forget. I figured out the weekends wrong. So I thought it was their dad's weekend. So I was like, sweet, like I can just go in the city. It'll be like easy to get in there and just have to worry about me and like get something for my oldest one. Cause she doesn't like to go to her dad's so yeah, then I ended up having to like shuttle people different places before I went, and it was just, and then there was traffic and whatever. But anyways, I got in, I did readings. It was a little hard. I didn't love the setup, so I hope they pick a different space next time because it was like the room was big, but there was so many people in the room that it was like I usually like more than like there was literally like maybe 18 inches of space between the tables, and so it was hard to like filter everybody out while you're doing the reading, because my problem is that I will pull information from the reading over here and here. It's not that I mix it up, it's just that so it was like hard for me to sort of filter everybody out. I did fine. People liked their readings. I got to meet two of my clients. One of them is on here often, Nicole, that I've had for years and never met in person. So that was really fun. I knew Nicole was going to be there because she purchased a reading for me, but the other person I didn't expect to see. And so it was like nice. And she was really cute. She's like, what? She's like, so am I what you thought? I was like, well, yeah, but like on Zoom, you're like 5'9" to me. And in real life, she's like 4'11". So she has like this very larger than life energy. It's very funny. So that was nice. But I was saying Friday had weird energy. If anybody noticed it. So then like I also forgot to shave, like I shaved my right leg and like the top half of my left leg and somehow forgot the bottom half. I was just like all these weird things. And then my client, I showed up late. I felt bad for that because she was a new client, and but she had a nice reading and I got a name in her reading. I was like, does the name George mean anything? Which was nice. So okay, Catherine, I got him. I'm just yammering. So if anybody noticed anything, and then so I threw it in my community chat and I was like, hey, I don't know if anybody's noticed this weird energy today. I don't know what it is. I just felt very ungrounded and disconnected. And everybody's like, yeah, me too. Like, so I don't know if anybody felt that. You were not alone. Can you suggest a reputable and affordable place to get crystals? Where are you located, Christine? You're in San Diego, right? I have a friend who like makes jewelry and wands and stuff, and she buys very good quality crystals. So I could find out from her. If you want to shoot me an email at Annalisa at myspiritualfriend.com, I have your email and I can refer that way, because I think you said you're out in San Diego, right? Because I usually just buy from local shops, and I go to smaller shops. I mean, there's like some places in New York City that are good. There used to be one called Astro something on 34th, and I think they moved. And then I think it's called the Rock Room. They used to be bigger, but they're in a smaller space now. But then I buy from local shops, and that have been there for a long time. Stick, Stone, and Bone is in the West Village. But I can find who my friend sources hers for her jewelry and her wands. I would go to unless if I get this place from my friend, if it's an online thing, I would trust that, because I know she only buys good quality stuff, how she sources her stuff. But as far as like, if you're just going out and go to a local store, your intuition will tell you if it's good. You'll also look at how long the store has been there. That's another thing. And you can also tell. I've bought some stuff online. Some of it's good. But if you buy like, on TikTok, they will have those like roller things, and then they have all those different balls and crystals. I would not buy those. A lot of those end up being dyed. They're not great quality. Of course. Yeah. So I like going into shops and buying them personally rather than buying online. That's actually my preferred way of doing it, because you'll intuitively be drawn to the crystal that needs to work for you. So like, I'll be drawn to one, and then I'll look at what it does or its specialty. And it's like, oh yeah, I kind of need that right now. So it's like also a fun way to learn to trust your own intuition, to see what you're drawn to, because then that helps you make decisions in other ways in life too. Just my thoughts. But yeah, local stores are, plus then you're supporting local, small business owners, which I think is always a nice thing to do. It might be a little bit more expensive than just, grabbing it online, but I have bought, like when I wanted some selenite wands and, black tourmaline, I've bought those from, Etsy and eBay, because there's smaller sellers on there. They're not expensive. And also you can tell, I mean, it's so obvious when those are fake or not. Because selenite, selenite scratches easily, and tourmaline's kind of flaky in a way if it's raw and not polished. And I usually get those for if you want a ward or guard, or like when I've done other events where it's like a specialty event. I didn't do it for the fair yesterday, where I give everybody like a little, because they're also not that expensive. So and black tourmaline is like protective. So is selenite, but okay. Yeah, that's it. I think that's all I was gonna say. I did the fair. I had I don't know. I think that's it. That's all the excitement. Okay, so let me get the list. I forgot to charge my pen last night when I got home. It died while I was doing readings, so I had to go back to analog and write on a piece of paper with pen for one of my last client. I have realized that a lot of my readings, when you do like the ones that kind of turn into like teaching you communication, because remember I talk about how manifesting is your communication to the universe, and your intuition and is your receptive communication, and your self-concept work is your, like, how healthy is that communication. And I feel like I'm sort of end up teaching that in the readings, because I have people who'll be like, well, I'm like, well, I can tell you where it's at right now, but like, don't you want it to be better? So, all right. Let's see what I got here. I've got Joelle. Let me just write these. It's like a type these in like a ding dong I am. Okay. I'm not a ding dong. I'm doing this earlier because I think we're heading to the pool this afternoon. And so I think it'll be warm enough for them. It's never warm enough for me in New Jersey. Catherine, you're under the, okay, that's you. Okay. Oh, something else I did yesterday, which I thought was kind of neat. It was like on the fly, which is probably stupid to some of you that I was like, someone was like, can I record it? It was so loud in there. I was like, let me just throw on my headphones. So you'll actually be able to hear my voice in the recording. I'll record it on my iPad and then I'll airdrop it to you. And I was like excited to do that, like on the fly little Gen X. Sorry. I just was glad I thought of that because, like the last thing you want is a recording and it's like all you can hear is everybody else talking. Okay. So let's go. Joelle, what's your question? I feel like I'm sitting in a silent room. I'm like, Joelle. Or Joelle or Cindy. Like, go ahead and write your question. So I don't know if maybe she stepped away. Just so we can skadoodle along and all that. It's a ponytail morning, by the way. Normally I try to shower before I do these, but I didn't today since we're going to go to the pool. So I always think my ponytail looks like, on top of a present, like the little curly ribbons. Wait, it's going the wrong way. That's what I think of. It's got a little bow on my head. Okay. I got this summer job in July, but there's another job that I want to apply to that is even event planner wedding in a hotel nearby that I also really want. So I'm wondering what my guides think is better, more suitable for me, or if you see getting it and the summer job is limited. I'm going to ask it differently. Just, it made sense. Totally made sense. I love that. I love my fellow little present head. So I feel like, okay. Remember I just talked about like communication and teaching you communication, like how to ask for things in the universe. So I feel like, I don't feel like you're going to be super happy at the summer job. I do feel like you're supposed to, or it would behoove you to apply for the event planner one. I feel like you'll end up doing that and I'll stick with it. I actually feel like you may end up doing both of them. Like somehow they work, like you're able to balance the two. Because I see you in the fall still doing the event planning stuff. Now, what would I do if I were you? I would start affirming. You don't have to believe it. You don't have to you just say it over and over. Oh, see, my skin is so I can hold a book or hold like when I was in high school, I would hold books in my arms and walk around, right? Walk around. And I would have lines and people are like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I don't know. I think this is all part of this is why when people are like, you can't have that and just decide you have something. I'm like, but I have a lot of the hallmark symptoms of connective tissue disorders. So that's one of them. So if you see scratches, don't worry. It's just me lightly touching my skin. Okay, so this is what I would do. I would, as you're applying for it, like, of course they're gonna hire me. Like, stop having doubts about it. When the doubts come up, you're like, no, like, because the truth is, they need me. They really want me. They need my skills. There's nobody better for this than me. You just start affirming it over and over and over again. And when the anxiety, those feelings come up, you just stop letting that be the truth. Um, there are so many things that I affirm for that aren't like here, but it's like you have to think about it like when you order a meal at a restaurant, some places serve food faster than others, right? But like you think of that like quality, right? So what's the quality of like McDonald's? Not that great. So you know you're gonna get it. So that's like one of the things you think about that when you're manifesting. Like so you get it quick. Sorry, I didn't finish my thought. So when you think about manifesting, something like that is like I don't have a lot of attachment to it, so it's gonna come easy. It doesn't matter. Like I've been really looking for a set of sheets that look like this. Doesn't matter, blah blah blah. So I walk into the next store and they're there, right? It's not like that's not a like a quality, whatever. It's a throwaway. But like if you really there's something you really are looking forward to, like this job, you're like, there are things that make you think like it's harder to make, it's harder to have it happen. So you're sitting down at a fine dining restaurant. When you sit down at a fine dining restaurant, you don't expect the food to come out in 5 minutes. Nor do you sit there and like, I need to see what everybody's doing. I need to see where it's at. I need it. Like, you don't worry about how it gets to your plate. You just know I sat down, I put the order in, it's coming to me. And so in your head, you're like, it's coming, it's mine. I got it. It's mine. I put the order in. That's sort of how you have to think of manifesting, right? So it's coming, it's mine, I've got it. Sometimes, and like this is where people are like, you can't ask about where it's at. Well, sometimes you notice that it's not there when you're ordering food. It's not that you're oblivious to the fact that like you're not like, oh, look, it's in front of me. You're like, no, it's not there, but it's coming, it's mine, I got it. There's a knowing. And I think that that's what people like a lot of times mix up when they're doing manifesting and affirmations is they miss the fact that it's the knowing, it's not pretending that you have it when you don't. It's knowing that it's yours in the sense that like I know this food is mine. I know it's coming. I'm not worried that it's not coming. It's going to be here. There's stuff that has to fall together for it to happen, but it's going to be here. And that's what you sort of have to look at when you're affirming. You're affirming the knowing of having it, meaning even if it's not right in front of you right now, it doesn't matter because you know it is yours, right? The order's coming. Does that make sense? I hope so. So you're going to affirm, of course they want me. Of course I have this job. Of course I'm the perfect person for this job. It's similar to the idea of when I went into nursing, when I graduated, not for 1 second did I doubt I would have a job immediately. Not for one. I mean, there was never when I interviewed for jobs, I never for once thought that I wouldn't get interviews because every job I applied for, I got an interview. Literally not 1 second did I doubt that. It was like, nope, because nursing shortage, because obviously they want nurses. I said this with a client yesterday. I was like, she's like, well, I'm not, they changed the position name. It's like, I'm not really qualified. I go, yes, you are. I got hired for jobs that I was technically not qualified for in nursing. I applied to them anyway. And I was like, they need me. That was my whole attitude. So your attitude has to become, they need me. So of course they're going to hire me. They need me. I have exactly what they need. And they need me. I am the exact person that they need. And they need me. There's no one else that qualifies for this because I'm perfectly fit and suited for this job. And you just over and over and over. And when the doubt comes up, you're like, no, because the truth is, and you literally just shove that away. I have doubts about things. And I just shove them away and I start affirming opposite. I get triggered about something. I'm like, nope, because the truth is that, and that's usually around like people showing up a certain way where I'm like, no, the reality is they show up. They're always respectful. They're always this, even if I get triggered. And then if you respond in a way that's not favorable, you're like, oh, it doesn't matter that I did that. It's like it literally becomes delusional, but it doesn't matter because your nervous system starts to regulate a lot easier and you're making up stories no matter what. Make them up in your favor. You don't know the truth around something. You're making them up anyway. When I'm doing these readings, I'm not magically sifting and I'm reading your energy, where it's at and where it's moving. That's why I'm always like, well, I mean, right now this is where it is, but it doesn't have to be that way. You're not being a narcissist when you're affirming. Well, then what are you being when you affirm negatively? When you're affirming that you're a good person and you're valuable and you're worthy, You're not saying, and nobody else. You're just saying, I am, me, right here. A narcissist has zero empathy for others. But when you start to give yourself grace and be kind to yourself, what happens is you end up having a lot more grace for the other people around you and kindness for others. That's not how a narcissist is. A narcissist actually doesn't really believe that they're all these wonderful things. You think about a narcissist as more like a toddler. They have an emotional stunt where it's just like they're the only ones in the world. And they are unable to see other perspectives. And also narcissists don't worry about being narcissists. They don't even consider that an option. So you're going to say, if he introduced me, just affirm it. Or you can affirm, you don't even need to go to the point of worrying about that guy and how it's going to happen. It's just going to happen. It's fine. It doesn't matter. It all falls into place. I don't need to know the how. I just know it happened. Or I would say, I understand. Yeah. I mean, but I think it can be you can be just as self-absorbed in a negative sense too. Like, it is being self-absorbed if you're just like, oh, I'm the worst. Like you're absorbed in yourself. Oh yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. But I'm saying like, okay. Because I was like, but still, even so, it can be self-absorbed when you're like, it's not the same though. I just think you're I don't know. It's just not the same. The minute I started being kind to myself instead of just like constantly berating myself or thinking that I'm not enough for anything. The minute I started doing that, well, not minute, it took a little while for it to sink in, but I just really had a lot more grace for other people where I'm like, oh, whatever. I'm not judging anybody. I don't really care. It's very few times where I'm judging somebody on something. I think even when I see things that I'm like, I really am more concerned about the long-term outcome of the effects that it has on somebody rather than like what a piece of shit they are. It's like, ooh, like I can see the ripple, the dominoes falling to the other end of it. So I mean, I would take narcissist off the table. I would think because we could go into just how about emotionally immature, because that's narcissists are really emotionally immature. And I don't think that you're being emotionally immature when you're like deciding to be kind to yourself and think that there are possibilities out there. And why wouldn't you be qualified for it? I think as women, I mean, most of my subscribers are women and most of my clients are women, but as women, we oftentimes have a lot of imposter syndrome until you're in your 40s. And it wasn't until like recently where I was like, why wouldn't I be qualified? I've been doing this for a long time. I have like whatever, not that there's certifications mean much, but that's not what's happening when you're not like when you're affirming for things that you want. It's not that you're not seeing outside of your own feelings. There's also the greater view of like, if we're all one, I guess the way I look at it is, everything shifts around to make it best for everybody involved, right? So she's applying for a job. They need a position, right? But if there's a job or something you want and there's somebody there, right? So we'll call that the 3P or whatever. What oftentimes happens is when you make that shift, you're like, that I want that job. That other person may have gotten another job that's got a better offer for them. It's a better fit for them. Like you don't know all of the inner intricacies of everything. So you're just trusting that when that desire comes to you for something, that the possibility is there, right? If everything's done, everything's complete already, and time is not really linear. The trust then comes in that everything that has to shift around actually shifts around for the best for everybody. So like a lot of times, when you hear in the manifesting community, they'll talk about three Ps, and they're referring to as romantic three Ps. Like there's somebody else, there's a third party. The third party could be family members that are just absolute shitty and you want them to like take a step back. But maybe that means that everything shifts and like then there becomes balance and health within the relationships of the entire family rather than just the couple, right? Hi, Adventure Stories. Where have you been? I'm kidding. Don't forget to like the live, because it does something, and we're going to trust it does something for the algorithm. Maybe it pushes me out to the regular people and like puts something in the ethers. I don't know. So I guess when you're manifesting, don't worry about what your desire is, or like, oh my God, is this going to hurt somebody else? It's not. It's all everybody. There's enough for everybody, enough to go around. It'll all balance out. The other idea I was saying is like everybody is you pushed out, right? If we're all a part of the same one, everything shifts. Like every part of you will shift to make every part comfortable for balance. I think that's where we're talking about balance happens. I think when people talk about it, like if you do one thing, then the opposite, like it has to find balance. I think the balance comes in the whole, not in the individual. That's why also when you see someone like people in power in the United States who make terrible decisions on a daily basis, we're like, why aren't they getting theirs? Why aren't they getting theirs? Well, I mean, like eventually that all finds balance, right? And sometimes they don't get the balance until they're on the other side. And sometimes the balance comes in like mass, like just shifts of energy, right? I don't know, but I think it happens more on a whole rather than on an individual basis, to be honest with you. And sometimes you don't see what the balance is. Like sometimes it's something inside of them where they find balance that way. So. All right. Okay. Cindy, what's your question? Also, Joelle, what I want to say is like, so this girl that got hired, she's like, well, I was hired for the job. I knew I was going to have the job. I knew it. And I'm like, yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly the way you have to be. It's like, I know this is mine. I know, like you walk into it. She's like, but then I got hired, but then they did something and they changed the position. And so now I'm technically not qualified. I'm like, yes, you are. And so you're going to start affirming. Of course they want me. They hired me already. Of course I'm going to fit. They made this position for me to grow into it. And I'm perfect for it. And so obviously it's mine. And then it becomes yours. Like I said, I was hired in the NICU when I did not have the qualifications. I had no experience. And I don't know. I never doubted that I would be hired. And I got a great shift too. I got the day shift. I didn't have to work nights. Anyway, I met someone named Alan last month and was wondering if you see it as a long-term match. We have a lot in common and busy schedules. Hi, Nor. Mm-hmm. I keep getting something about 3 months, and I'm not like getting like, oh, 3 months and there's a shift and it feels really great. It feels like it might be a shorter term connection. And I don't feel like it's like he meets somebody else or anything like that. It just feels like I keep hearing like a parting of ways, of shifting of, it just feels like it doesn't work itself out right. Hi Jillian, how are you? So Nor, the list right now is for the paid readings. Those are $12. I donate 30% to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. And then that's like for personal questions. She's asking something about her own personal life. If you want to be on the list for the Oracle card reading, hang out. And as soon as I'm done with the paid ones, I do the Oracle card and I just tell people what cards I have. They pick their deck. And then I just ask, what do they need to know this week? We have a challenge getting our schedules in sync. Yeah. And I just feel like maybe it feels like maybe it's like a step away. So I don't know if it's like, um, actually, I was gonna say, I don't know if it means it comes circled back around. And it feels like, I don't know if it's 6 months from the 3 months, so like in 9 months from now, or if it's 6 months from now, you kind of circle back and think your schedules are a little bit more balanced and even. I actually feel like his schedule is a bit more crazy than yours because I feel like he has to travel a lot. Sorry. I was just giggling at a text message from a fellow Girl Scout troop leader. Oh, he's a DJ. Okay. And a therapist. That's a combination. Does he do therapy over music? I'm kidding. He has a very busy schedule. Yeah. So I feel like something changes where it kind of calms down. So maybe he's just traveling a lot for the summer. This is really annoying me when it's uneven. Sorry. Maybe my hips are uneven. um, you're so worried about 40 years. Oh, Stephen, what's going on, dude? So it's shorter term with possibility of circling back. Yes. I just feel like it feels like impossible to get together or something where it doesn't feel like an unhealthy parting. It just feels like maybe this isn't meant right now. Okay, Stephen. All right, Catherine, what are your questions? So, I should have that on silent. Sorry, I didn't have that on silent. And so I just read a message from my friend. And obviously had a quick quip in my head for a rebuttal to something, and then but I can't. So I laugh at myself and my own jokes in my head. Get out more this summer. Do it. So on Friday night we had they call it a bridging ceremony for my daughter's brownie troop. They're going to be juniors. And it was like all the moms were there that night. None of the dads came. Sometimes the dads will they'll switch out. Some of the dads will come and do the stuff. But I came like prepared with my socks to go bowling. And I was like, wait, it's like, no, are y'all not bowling? So I convinced some of the moms to bowl. I was excited and bought socks for a couple of them because I was like, no, we're bowling. We're doing this. Here's some tips. Because I did bowling in college. That was since I had all the nursing courses, I didn't need a health course. So I didn't take like a health course. I took bowling because why not? So I was like, here's some tips. I'm not great at it, but here's what I know. Okay. I mean, what I'm doing is I'm really thinking about Cindy is like thinking about what do I really want? And like, instead of just like trying to look for connections, like, what do I really want? What do I want it to look like? And how do I show up in that? And affirming differently. Right. So I don't know. Literally I go on these walks and I just sit and affirm over and over in my head because I'm like, well, if I can create whatever I want, then I'm going to be very thoughtful about it. I'm going to be very intentional about it instead of just, hi, Violet Sagittarius. Yeah, so we all bowled. It was fun. Anyway, so I'm like, then they were like, we should have more mom's nights out. I was like, I'll be the designated driver because I don't drink. So I'll carpool the adults. You have a listener night, so you'll keep referencing and listening to affirmations. Do that. But so I have found for myself, if I just say the affirmations over and over in my head, when I'm doing my mindless stuff like walking, or although y'all, I saw tree auras totally different last week than I've ever seen them. And it was the coolest freaking thing. I actually started crying. And I was like, get it together. You don't want to be the weirdo walker who's crying at trees. But like they were like all different color. Each tree sort of had their own color thing. And it looked like, but several different colors within it, but almost like stacked, like ombre, however you say it. It was so cool. I don't know. Okay, sorry, Catherine, I'm here. I'm trying manifesting and want to put my energy in the right places. So here's my first question. What type of thriving online business do my guides see me starting in the next year or so? I want everybody here to start looking at guides as your higher self. Because when we say that our guides, right, there's still this idea in that language that it's something outside of you, that they have some power outside of you. And when you put it in the context of thinking of your higher self, like there is a part of me in source consciousness that sort of sees better, it connects it a little bit more to you. Okay. I just feel like there needs to be, and maybe that's forcing y'all to think something differently. And I don't want to do that, but I just feel like we are all so much more powerful than we realize. Katrina, I got your payment. Because then when I ask something the way you're asking, I was like, what do they see you doing? It's like, still kind of thinking of walking out. Okay, Steven, hold on. I'll get to you in a little bit. Sorry, I just got in. I don't want to be in Steven's energy right now. Steven, hold on. Okay, I know this is going to seem like not super sexy, but actually very lucrative for you, is doing one of those, like, I don't know what it's called. I don't know if it's UGC, but it's like those faceless accounts or those accounts where you're selling stuff. It's going to feel weird to you. That's why I feel like it's faceless, because I feel like if I do it where I'm showing people initially like what I'm selling or the products I'm selling, it feels like you're not comfortable with that, like, because you're going to be worried about what people think. If they see you show up and you're like, I bought this dress, or I like these like cleaning products or whatever. But I feel like it's something like that where I'm selling stuff and it's like I'm not super connected to it. That's why it feels faceless. Because I don't see it being like I have an Etsy account and I share all these crafts, or it feels like I'm actually selling stuff and making commissions off of things and getting, brand partnerships. It's not sexy, but I feel like it makes a lot of money. And it feels safe, if that makes sense. And so then what I would affirm for you is, show me how easy it is to do this. Like, I'm so grateful they showed me how it's, so then you don't have to like, it's really interesting when you start to kind of put things in that context, everything falls into place. Right? I'm so grateful it was just so easy to do this. And then everything, like, you'll find the easiest ways to do it. Okay, what's your second question? And then I need to put Katrina on the list so I don't forget. When Northwestern accepts me for fall of 2020, will it be dual MFA, MA, or PhD? PhD. Like immediately got that. I answered Regine's, and that's Catherine's. I guess, did I do that wrong? Oh yeah, okay. You're very welcome. Katrina, you can ask your question. I didn't put your name on the list, but I just realized it's Christine Crochets if you're here. Christine Crochets a lot. And I don't know why I didn't read. So I just said Christine because I was like, it just wasn't registering in my brain when I first read it. Sorry. Tammy, I got your payment. So you need to keep reading, indeed. I met this beautiful lady named Lindy online 8 months ago. We're planning to meet this summer. Do you see this happening? And what is the energy around it, please? Oh, this is Regine. Okay. I don't know why I was like, okay, Regine. Okay, got it. Sorry. Thank you, Regine, for keeping me on track. Beautiful lady named Lindy online 8 months ago, and we're planning to meet this summer. Do you see this happening? And what is the energy around us, please? Yeah, I'm leaning towards August, like either the end of July, beginning of August. I do feel like you'll meet. It feels good. It doesn't feel awkward or anything. It just feels like very natural and easy flowing. It almost feels like not wanting to part ways when it's time to leave. I don't think anybody's moving yet or anything, but I do see you working together somehow. Oh, you're planning 7/29/82. Yay! Thank you for validating. Yeah, I mean, I do. It's like a weird, like not wanting to part ways is the feeling I get. So I don't know what that means, like why that's that way. I almost feel like you were like best friends in a past life or alter life, whatever. I always struggle when I say past life because I'm like, it's not really linear. So it's like this other lifetime. Soul sister. Yes. It was so funny. Before I even read that, I heard, hey, sister, soul, sister, go, sister. I love that I like got the dates right. I love that. Yeah, so I feel like you'll work together eventually, but just not it's not like I don't know what it is. It's like that feeling of like not wanting to part ways. Um this is not this is the first of many hangouts. Yeah. I almost feel like to you it's that relationship that you needed that like you wanted from your own sisters and just never had. That's kind of the feeling I get. You're on a road trip from Tampa back home. The connection is not the best. Oh, okay. You're so welcome. Thank you for trusting me. This is really cute. Yesterday, I didn't know the guy who was doing the reading was an animal communicator, but this woman had her little dog with her. And I was like, can I pet your dog? And she's like, oh yeah. Like I waited for a little break. And so I started petting the dog. I was like, oh, it feels a little nauseous. And I was like, oh, it's got a little arthritis. So I just like started sending it a little energy healing. And I like waited for them to finish, and I was like, I have to tell you. I was like, so I just noticed that I feel like your dog was a little nauseous, and then she was like, oh, maybe I don't know what is funny. I was like, and then the guy came up to me later, and he's like, oh, are you doing readings? I was like, yeah. I After I do all those readings, and people come and try to talk to me, and I'm like, I just feel like like I don't, like my energy is so like I don't have the capacity to lock back in and be like fully present and in a conversation. Um, I feel like just I'm not there and conscious. It's like not great for socializing afterwards, to be quite honest. Like I need to go eat a cupcake or have something very like solid. And so like after you do a lot of readings or connecting in, if you ever do anything where you're doing like long amounts of meditations or whatever, an easy way to ground in is eating like carby rich food. So like when I would do the courses, I would go and have like a slice of pizza. I can't eat that anymore in most places, but unless it's gluten free, a slice of pizza, and I'd have like a dessert, like a cupcake or a brownie or something, because it just like pulls you back into your body. Because conversation is impossible on those things. Um, Katrina, what's your question? Whenever I think of red balloons, I think of what's that horror movie? I just always see like in my mind a red balloon floating by a gutter with a weird creepy clown. I don't. I was at the when I was at that mitzvah last weekend. There was a person there, and um, um, they were like, "Oh, I really like horror movies." I was like, "I'm in fight or flight mode all the time. I don't need to like put myself there intentionally." I'm exploring more creative outlets, writing music. Thank you, Stephen. I'm exploring more creative outlets, writing music lessons, more for myself, self exploration, but wondering if any creative outlets will lead to career pivots down the line, or is this my ADHD? I feel you on the, yeah. Yeah, my undiagnosed ADHD leads me on the crafting line too, where I just have so many like someone's like, oh my god, I'm like, yep, I've got the Cricut, I've got this, I got. They're like, like I can't, I've got sewing machines. um, it's yeah, it's not gonna pivot you, not like where I feel like you may earn some money from it, but it's not something where it's like sustainable to do that. Yes, I'm the collector of hobbies, but like I feel like all of my hobbies are pretty solid now. Like I'm not, just bouncing around. I feel like I've found like the ones that give me enough dopamine for, enough, right? Um, so like last week on Thursday, we had the synchro team that I skate on. We had like a little skills and drill clinic, and I was trying to recruit new people. But it was a lot of fun. And I also was very excited because I was skating next to someone who's on she's on the Open Masters, and she's very, very, very good. She's one of the coaches at the arena, and she's a really good skater. She's older. She's had double hip replacements, and I love watching her skate. And she was skating next to me. She's like, I like skating next to you. And she's very picky about, like, she's one of those people that's like, I don't know. So I felt like, oh, I'm not ready to compete yet. I wish I had that competitive thing in me. I just don't. I have let's have fun. Like a little fairy floating around, giggling. Okay. Anyway, so let's move on. But it's a good dopamine hit for me to do all that stuff. So, okay. Tammy, what's your question? And then Regine, did you bought another one? I'm retired, but I have no idea what I like to do anymore or what my next chapter is. Need help and guidance. Okay. I mean, this is not psychic, so but I'll look into it. But my first thing is just to say, like, just go try stuff. So this is like where you're like where with ice skating, I was like, I don't know, just try it. It's like anything I do, I'm like, just try it. You don't have to love it. You don't have to be great at it. You can walk away from it. You can be like the little kid who's like, I want to try trombone lessons. And they give it 3 times. You're like, not anymore. And then I want to try swimming lessons and not anymore. That's like not my thing. And like that's kind of what it ends up doing. You end up doing. So let's see. I'm like, now I'm going to actually tune in. But that's literally how you find yourself is just being okay with like I don't have to be the best. I don't have to know everything. I don't have to totally love it. I can walk away from it. I don't have to have one thing that I do. I can just do a million different little things. Um, Also, the area you're in Houston. There's so many opportunities. I don't see running because I'm like just running through stuff. I don't see running or anything like that. I actually was kind of drawn to doing cooking classes and not so much even for like I need lessons or whatever. Just it connects you with people that have things in common with you that enjoy things. I was talking to my mom last night and I was saying I actually like going to concerts by myself. So we were talking about because there's the Knicks just won and then there's FIFA here. So she's like, oh, and I guess they're having a game in Houston today for FIFA. And she's like, people keep asking me, do I watch the soccer games? I was like, yeah, I don't, unless I know somebody that's playing a sport or like it's a group of people we're talking about. I was like, I'm not going to sit down and watch it by myself, but I'll go to concerts by myself because like when I go and listen to the music, the other people have that in common. And then like you talk to the people next to you and you have a like a little connection, right? And it feels like that's what you end up having. It's just like connection. It's not like you need that constant. But I keep seeing like I feel like cooking classes. William Sonoma has them. Just little things like that. Jillian, I got your payment. Little things like that. Um, there's also I see I keep seeing you with glasses of wine. So I don't know if you're a big drinker, but it's like everywhere I see like it was like I saw you then like at the art museum, like with a glass of wine. So they might have like get-togethers at the art museum doing stuff like that. Hi, Gabby. Um, Maybe even you're taking a wine tasting, like taking a sommelier course or something like that. But it's like I do see wine involved in this. Are you a wine drinker? Is that a thing? Um, there's not just one thing that you're doing. I feel like it's a lot of different little things. Even doing like some painting, like getting together doing painting and um, not pottery, but painting pottery maybe. But doing little things like that, just little outings here and there. I don't feel like it's like, oh, I suddenly take up tennis. It doesn't feel nothing feels athletic to me. It feels more creative around creative things. Does any of that resonate with you? Sorry, Tammy. I'm like, does that resonate at all? I want to validate as well that I received the raise and that allows me to remain in this apartment and help me with my daughter coming. I have worked hard changing the energy at the office and notice. Oh, that's okay. You did think about cooking class. I like if you do something like at Williams Sonoma, you sign up for one class. So you're not committed to weeks and weeks and weeks. I'm certain in Houston through U of H or something like that, because I know that, or even through the community colleges, they have to have some sort of like cooking courses then where you go through, right? And you're not going to be the only older person. It feels like they may have like I know through the community colleges here, they'll have like taking courses or whatever. There's something like that that I think you'll end up in, but I think it starts at something like Williams Sonoma. So it's like that's your tiptoe into it. I know you're married now. You know where your husband's health is at. So that's like, it's not, but sorry. You may meet somebody through doing these things. It's not tomorrow or anything, but just throwing that out there. I do see you staying longer, Regine. Yeah. Um, maybe the remote job was you doing all of your readings. I'm not sure. You're fine, Regine. But that's not to be like this is next week. It just feels like this might bring like the next chapter in eventually, Tammy. I had a reading from a friend. Like this was not like a formal sit down reading back in 2020, and yes, and it actually feels like I hate doing readings like this in a way because like or when they give me stuff like this because I'm like, damn it, this isn't what they really asked. It feels like a connection that you really never had with your current husband or haven't had in a very, very long time. And it feels very welcomed and very easy and refreshing. Because I feel like you're kind of in a caretaker role right now. And this is somebody who it's not taking care of you, but there's reciprocation, it's balance. It feels very nice and light. Your energy feels nice and light around this person. Oh, I have color on my lips now. The other one wasn't giving that. Sorry. Okay, Regine, I do see you staying longer, and it feels more for the insurance purposes, and it actually feels like the schedule becomes a little bit flexible for you around your daughter. Like the choice to stay there is because of the knowing the person who's running, like who's your boss, and so it's like, oh, I could also bring her in and work if I need to. Like there's it feels more. It feels like it ends up being actually more flexible. Because I actually see her there sitting there doing homework or drawing or something. Oh, are you the only one that has no sound? Does everybody else have sound? Okay, perfect. So I think is that the last one? No, Jillian, you had a question. Okay, Jillian, what's your question? Okay, Regine. Oh, you're in a small town, yeah. There's even places where in my neighborhood where I live, like I drop, I don't have connection. It's weird. Been going through some health issues for quite some time now, just looking for anything positive coming in soon. Do you want me to look at health or what am I looking at? Sorry, I'm like massaging my knee right now because it hurts. And I think it's just the fascia around my knee is cranky. Only cows around. Cows are cute. Play music for them. I've been getting very teary-eyed at nature lately. It's very interesting. Like the trees and just like this, like I talk to all the animals when I go for walks. I'm the crazy lady. The deer, I'm like, no, it's okay. I'm just walking by. Don't go anywhere. You're fine. Don't stop. Don't don't run away on account of me. And then we have this little family of groundhogs that's like lives between there's a like between my yard and the neighbor's yard, there's like all these little burrows and stuff. And it's so cute because like when you drive up or walk up, like you see all the babies run, like they scatter. It's like, that's cute. And then my friend sent me a picture this morning. She's like, they're back. And I knew immediately she was talking about her hummingbirds. And I was like, oh my God. Because that means they have babies in a nest and they hung out. Okay. You went for a walk and talked to the turtle crossing. That's it. You just got to talk to them. I don't know. I like connecting with nature and just like they understand me. I'm convinced of it. Okay, sure. Will it improve? I have some injuries. Just hoping for any positive message about my future. All right. So first, I know it's really hard when you're having, so I'm going into the manifesting stuff first because it's just me being a stickler for, when it comes to any physical stuff for me, this is what I do. I don't know what other people do. Like when I was really, I didn't realize like I was probably having insulin resistance issues, like borderline pre-diabetic. I probably would not have tested for diabetic, but like been borderline pre-diabetic. I was just exhausted all the time. And so what I did was I just decided like, well, I can't affirm that I have energy because that's just like my logic brain, right? The left side of my brain would have been like, who you kidding, lady? Right. So I would just wake up in the morning and I said, I'm ready for the day. That's where I started. So it might be hard for you to be like, I'm healed. That's like a big jump, right? So like, oh, I would say it's getting better and better every day. So for me, I have had a lot of inflammation in my body. And I always say like, it's getting better and better every day. It's getting better and better every day. And I see improvements. And then when those improvements happen, you don't go like, oh my God, it's me. It's like, well, of course it is. Because that's the truth. That's my truth. It's getting better and better every day. Like last night, my oldest daughter, I've been affirming for her to come out more and to be like out of her shell more. She's autistic. And we've long time of having a rough go of it. She's like had burnout really, really bad and really isolated a lot. And it's not something where it's like therapy is going to fix it because that's just, I don't know. I don't believe that for being autistic. So I just started affirming, she's out more, she's being social more with us, she's interacting more. And she was out for a long time last night and joking around with my other daughters. And so then I was like that because that's what I'm manifesting. It's like that. Of course that is. Like I tried not to get really excited about it. And my middle daughter was like, oh my God, Mom. She got really excited. I was like, of course, because that's what we're manifesting. Like, because, I don't know, why wouldn't you want your kids to be that way? So my first thought is like, I'm getting better and better every day. I know you have injuries, but I keep feeling a lot of nausea. Do you have some kind of issue with your stomach? And just feeling nauseous a lot or like, I'm just stretching my fascia on my knee. If you're wondering like why I'm doing this a lot. You can't see it, but like, it's just all I'm doing. So, because I'm tired of the knee pain and I decided it's because I have tight fascia and there's not actually an injury there. You have a stomach injury that's been difficult to be treated. Okay. Jesus. Shanked? That makes it sound like somebody made a shiv. Not judging if you were ever in jail in a jail incident. It does sound funny when I say it, because I don't think that that's what it was. Please say you're laughing at that and not like, well, actually. Okay. So I'm glad that that made sense and that fit into one of the injuries. I'm gonna, sorry, I just like, oh, it feels really good to like stretch that fascia. Okay. I would, the way that I'm being shown it is like having actual adhesions. So it looks like, I'm gonna try and make a 2D. Oh, do I have a balloon? Do I have a balloon? Okay, never mind. Just imagine this. Okay. If you have a balloon and it's sort of deflated, right? Think of that as your stomach, because your stomach is, really tiny, whatever. But think of it as like, take a balloon that's deflated, and like, when it's been a latex balloon, it's been inflated, and then it starts to deflate. It can kind of like stick back on itself. That's what it feels like is happening. Like there's so adhesions, but it's like folding back on itself. Does that resonate with your injuries? Also, if I've offended you with my imagery of being in jail and being shanked with a shiv, please, I apologize. It's my brain. It's like a drunk college student sometimes, or an overexhausted toddler. Thank you. I always look at, whenever I look at like little kids when they're like super tired and just like slapstick goofy, I always think of them. I was like, oh, that's what they're going to be like when they're in college and drinking or in their 20s. You think that makes sense? So that's why it feels like to me, I would, there's like two parts of this here. It's like, I feel like there's two potential outcomes, right? I feel like, so the one is like going in and actually like through, I want to say arthroscopic. When they put in the little, like the 5 little incisions and use the cameras to go in and like not cauterize, to laser to break free. It's not cauterize, but it's like burn away the adhesions. Oh, you're welcome, Regine. That's one option, right? If like it's that inability to kind of like, this is so annoying. When I watch these back and I listened to myself, I was like, Jesus Christ, I say like a lot. Um, so sorry if anybody gets offended by that. So there's that one angle to that. And then that other angle, this is like what happens with my brain. It's all over the place. Sorry, but I can focus. So there's the option of the surgical intervention, right? But the other one is, I feel like there's a way to visualize and talk to your cells. And I know that sounds cookie chew, but like, you're not doing anything invasive by doing that. It's not going to harm you in any way. To visualize those adhesions and relaxing and talking to your body about, thank you so much for showing me this injury and allowing me to heal from it. Thank the injury. And talk to your cells about, relaxing and unknitting themselves, and that your body is strong enough to hold that space now because it's healed. Because truly you're healed, right? You're physically healed. It's just the way it decided to knit back together was not the friendliest of ways. And it feels like, I know that sounds like, but I have client slash community member slash friend who she's worked on healing. She was diagnosed about 2 months ago with cancer. And I saw it and I was like, because I was just kind of like, oh, I would just like visualize. I wasn't saying like, yeah, I see it. But I saw 3 dots and she's actually minimized it to be to where it's now considered precancerous because she minimized it enough when they went in to do the surgery. So there's this idea of like, and when I had my daughter, they were my oldest, they were like, she's not dropping out. I was like, let me please talk to my body. And I do this a lot where I just talk to the cells and tell them what to do, to relax, to loosen up. So it's a feeling of going in and talking to your cells and telling them, I know what you want is like this beauty is coming, but I feel like the message you really need is to talk to you about like the power that you hold to change things and make things better. Um, so if our beliefs create a reality, when we focus on the difficulty or the pain of it, oh, I just froze really quick. That's all that can continue to happen and spiral. So it feels like if you can baby step your way through it, is like, I know I'm healing. I know I'm changing. I know it's getting better and better every day. And my cells are working more and more together it just feels like that works somehow. I keep seeing it, this thing about this the second moon that we have that's in orbit. It's not really a moon, but yes, that makes sense. Sometimes doctors don't believe me yet. It's right there on the x-rays. I'm not poo-pooing Western medicine when I say this, but like I've gone into doctors and I remember in college, I was like, I think I have mono. And the doctor's like, no, you don't think you do. And then he's like, but I'll test you anyway. He was like such a shitbag. And then he came back and he was like, oh, actually you have mono. Like that's just part of Western medicine and misogyny and patriarchy. And it can be a female doctor that does it too, because it's so ingrained in them. I mean, women were not included into medical studies until the 90s. That's fucking stupid. They're like just now figuring out that a lot of dosing on medications, because it was all tested on men, doesn't actually work on women. It's not actually the right, it has nothing to do with weight, right? So you can know your truth. So it just feels like if you just sat and talked to yourselves, like, so if I were you, I would sit and like visualize those adhesions and talking to the cells, and like you do it in a way of gratitude, like you were there to heal me. So it's like I was telling a client yesterday, like when I quit smoking, I was like, oh, we had a great relationship. Like it's like you recognize it, and so but we don't work anymore now. This isn't working anymore for me, and respectfully, because I do believe your body can heal itself. I'm not saying I would never do Western medicine. That's not it at all. But I do think there are aspects of that we can change. The other thing is like with manifesting, where it falls into, and if if you end up getting medical intervention or you do it this way, both of them are manifestations. It doesn't, just because you're thinking of manifesting, that it has to happen magically. It's like it can happen in a very logical way if that's the easiest way for it to happen. So it feels like it would be good for you to just start with 2. It's like it's getting better and better every day. I'm, I don't know how, but I feel so much better now. You can even do that. I don't know how it happened, but I'm feeling better and better every day. I'm feeling stronger and stronger every day. There's something about 3 weeks, 3 months, and 6 months. So those times seem significant for finding out and or feeling relief. Like, so either having a doctor's appointment, finding out, different ways to show it. But it's like there's adhesions in there that's causing the discomfort. It doesn't feel like it's negligence on the doctor's part, or that they did something wrong with those injuries. And unfortunately in medicine too, like the doctors have been taught to not believe women when there's stuff going on. Like, oh, it's just your anxiety. Like I was feeling ragey and bitchy and like off and just tired, like feeling like, like I was just triggered. And female doctors like, well, that's just part of it. Well, it's like, no, there's something, going on. And well, 3 weeks, 3 months, and 6 months. Yes. You have a specialist you're seeing in 3 weeks. Perfect. So it may be that they send you to something, and in 3 weeks time you see, so it's maybe they send you into PT, maybe they send you into, seeing like a fascia release type person. that helps that. I mean, I don't know. Or maybe you end up at an acupuncturist. Can't seem to believe I was actually shamed. Who are you shamed by? Can I ask that? Do you mind? Are you embarrassed to say that? I think because it seems like too movie-esque, like more I say it like giggled and I was like, well, like you're in prison and somebody created a shiv. And um I remember, I don't know if anybody might, so my girl's father is a big fan of Howard Stern. And years ago we were watching and his sidekick, I can't remember his name, but I can see his face, had some kind of like horrible event, right? And he stopped being on the show. It was like he had addiction issues for years and mental health issues. And I stopped and asked my guides, we were living in Hoboken at the time, and I stopped and asked my guides, like, what happened? And I saw this guy stabbing himself in the stomach, and I was like, no, that's ridiculous. That turns out that's what he did. A junkie you were investigating? That's crazy. I'm sorry. Also feels like there was infection in there. And that sort of like, I would personally do a lot of the visualization and talking to your cells and healing that way. Do the Western stuff, but I still would lean into that. You got really sick after. Yeah. I like when I saw the knife, I felt like it was very like, or whatever it was, like, it just felt dirty and like it just felt like a lot of bacteria and stuff. I do feel like 1 year from now feels like a whole different person for you. It just feels like I didn't know I could feel this good again. Yeah, I would say it's a miracle you didn't get sepsis. Or, oh, yeah. That's just the one I was drawn to. But I would do that with the same thing with other injuries. I feel like there's something with you when you scar or you tend to have adhesions. Like your body heals differently. So if I don't know if you have hypermobility or connective, like I have hypermobility, you're not supposed to be able to do that. Um, it feels like your body just heals differently. Hi, Be Early. Um, is that you, Be Early? Are you DST for your initials? Okay, ask your question. Hey, I didn't realize that you're in that country. How are you? I've survived some crazy stuff. Yeah, it's all different. So then it's like I'm so lucky. I don't even know how the universe is just always has my back. That should just be definitely an affirmation for you. And I don't know how, but I healed so easily. I feel so much better. And you just keep affirming that over and over and over again, no matter how you actually feel. Just I don't know how, but I healed and I feel so much better. And then you can talk to your cells too. Like, I'm so grateful my cells decided to work in my favor. Okay. Last reading is for Be Early, and then we'll do card readings. Oh, hang on. Regine said something, a general question. Can I ask a general question about the June 24th in Miami, where we might see extraterrestrials around Miami? I don't know. Look, I'm obviously on Alien Talk on TikTok. I obviously get all that kind of weird stuff. And like when the government comes out and they're like, well, there's actually 4 different terrestrial beings where or several different, whatever, that we're bipedal, blah, 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 blah. Um, I it's not that I don't believe, I do believe it, but I'm doing readings. What's up? Uh-huh.
Are you almost done?
I'm going to do card readings in just a minute. I have one more question to answer and then do card readings.
How long does that take?
I don't know, baby doll. What's up?
I'm just really bored because whenever I try to call one of my friends, like they're not picking up.
Because they're probably out doing stuff.
If one of my friends is available, can I maybe have to play that with them?
Well, we're gonna go to the pool later.
Or like if they can come to the pool.
For sure.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Right, get out of my face. I love you.
I love you too.
Bye bye, Buggy Boo. So I feel like, hang on, Regine, when I think about that date and ETs, I'm like, the feeling I get is more along the lines of like when people are like, when the different cults are like, Jesus is coming back on this day and he's going to rapture everybody that's a good person, the 144,000. That's the feeling I get around that. I mean, maybe it'll happen, but I doubt it. I mean, I'm open to it because Jesus, it's probably a lot better than, I don't know. Honestly, I feel like maybe all the craziness around our government and people being just completely atrocious around the world is so that when the aliens are revealed, you're just like, okay, another day, everybody get on the bus and go to work. Like, I don't know. I mean, I watch a lot of readers online who make predictions, and I'm always kind of like, I feel like it's more about their ego and sensationalism. Okay, wait, be early. I want to ask you before I answer your question. Did the auditions go the way that I said they would go for that validation? Is that okay? And then I'll like answer your question. And did you do what I said to do around affirmations, affirming? So I feel like you will get the second one for sure. The first one, it feels like there's several positions open. And it feels like being like on an alternate list or something like that. And I feel okay about that. Or there's one place open and there's an alternate list and you're like in that. And again, I feel okay about that. Like, I feel like, okay, that's okay. There were more people in the first one, as you said, and probably they have more spots available. Okay. So it feels like, or it feels like I'm just not at the top spot, but I feel okay about where I am. So it doesn't feel like I'm not chosen. So that's why I said alternate list feels like I'm still chosen. Something like that. Hi, Annalisa. My person is giving me a promise ring in 2 weeks' time. When will we marry? So that's a paid reading. That's $12, and I donate 30% to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. Because it's like just for you. But when I ask like the aliens question, because that's a general, that's for everybody. I'll do that. Throw that out there for free. But the Oracle card readings are free, and those are still not specific to you. They're just very general of like, what do you need to know this week? Second one. Oh, I didn't realize you paid for two. Sorry about that. Oh, I just have one payment. Did you send in a second one? Oh, the second one was less. Sorry, I didn't finish reading. My brain. I have a very dear friend who lives in South Africa. I don't know the name of the town. I wish I did. Sorry. Even though I say she's a very dear friend. I guess I never ask because I never mail her anything. So shitty of me. Oh, now I have to ask her. I also think I just don't know geography, so I could ask the name and then I'd be like, okay, hang on. The second one was less people, but I was somehow very nervous because something happened between my singer and I, basically unsettled me somewhat. But one of the juries told me something that kind of insinuated that I wasn't chosen this time. No idea though. So just affirm differently. Of course I was chosen. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happened. It all ends up working out in my favor. I don't know how, but I was chosen. I don't know how, because everything else looked like it wouldn't happen, but I was chosen. I think sometimes doing that where you throw the I don't know how, it sort of releases the energy of we are very no. Hang on, sorry. Sorry. My daughter was like, "Can I have this? Do you know what Ferrero Rocher is?" She wanted one of those. I don't know where she found one. I didn't even realize we had any. So God knows how old it is. I was like, "It has gluten." That's what I would affirm for that thing, is just say over and over and over, like, I don't know how, but somehow I was chosen. What I see with people when I'm helping with manifesting is a lot of times they get stuck on like the story that's told around it to like why it's impossible, or it's like they start and you literally have to just be like, I don't know how, because technically when I got into nursing school it was impossible. I shouldn't have been in when I got in. I applied late. There was a wait list, but I never thought about any of that. I was just like, well, I'm going to nursing school. I didn't worry about the how, right? Granted, I heard a voice that said, like, you're going to go and you're going to apply right now, and to the name of the school, but like, I have no idea how, but they still chose me. Again, I have no idea how it all worked out, that I was put ahead of other people or that I was chosen, but I was. And that leaves possibility for the universe just to do like, maybe she wasn't perfect, but this, like, it actually showed resilience. And so we need that, like when things aren't perfect, that the person is going to be able to just do the thing. Because sometimes the best candidate isn't the one where everything goes perfectly. Sometimes you want to see if the chips are down, how do they handle that? That's the same thing with in any work position too. Because maybe when all conditions are right, you do great, but what do you do when because things are not always perfect? What do you do in those situations? Hi, Monica. Welcome. Thank you for subscribing. Okay. So, do y'all want to do card readings now? I've got the Dragon's Path. I've got Enchanted Map, Women of Myth, Trust Your Vibes, the Green Witch, Woodland Wardens, and Moonology, Voice of the Souls. I don't like, actually, let's not do Voice of the Souls. I don't feel like doing that one today. Is that okay? It's a lot of reading. I don't like chapter books. I'm kidding. I've been reading this terrible series. It's kind of terrible. Yeah. But like I'm in it now, and now I feel like, well, I need to know their story, even though it's kind of terrible. It's like when I read the Twilight series, it was like years ago, and I would just bring like 3 huge books with me on the way to and from work because it was an hour and a half commute each way. So I was like, well, what else am I going to do on the different trains? And terrible, terrible books, but I read them all. And it's this one I'm stuck in this series right now. It's like terrible books, but I'm stuck in it. Okay, sorry. Magic of Mediums, Past Life. Did I say Spirit Animal? Wisdom of the Oracle, Inner Child, Crystals. And honestly, it's like kind of one of those like raunchy romances. It's not, I mean, whatever. Oh, Jillian, you want another question? Go ahead and ask your question. Whatever. It's just one of those where you're like, it's a little overkill. like there could be more backstory. So okay. All right, let me see who's got the cards. Jillian, you ask your question. I'm just going to write down the list so far. The Tammy has trust your vibes. And it's crap. I just sent her. She tried to call me yesterday and I didn't respond. Okay. You need to do something complete. Okay, wait, hang on. Jillian. Okay, let me do Jillian's now. Please and thank you. Can you tell me anything career-wise? I went to school for fashion at university and ended up dressing mannequins, but after so many injuries, I'm on disability. Different, probably legal related. Do you also have an injury or something with your jaw? Isn't it weird that I picked that up now that I'm trying to look into something else? I also feel like, oh, I feel like you have a lot of nausea stuff. I know that's this, like, but it just feels like, oh, and then like pressure on my head. So I keep getting a combination of things where I feel like somehow I'm, I don't know if it's like counseling or coaching or like there's a combination of like actually connecting people through community or helping people through a community somehow of doing like, it feels like women, a group of women. I don't know exactly how there's some connection to it with like all of the things that you've gone through, where you're helping people through. I mean, not everybody is shivved, right? But it's like helping people through, like walking through those steps. And then also creating like online documents that people can download to walk them through different legal things. I don't see being an attorney, right? So it feels like how to navigate certain systems that are like legal systems, or maybe it's like the medical system or something like that. But like having like online documentation or online courses or something where they do that on their own. A lot of nausea yesterday, heck, and neck injury. Okay. I feel like with some of these, when you're talking about injuries, I feel like what's happening is like me rubbing my knee where I'm like pulling, like my knee does not hurt now that I was like working on the fascia, where it feels like when you pull your skin apart, like, so if I were to put pressure here, turn my head, kind of turn my neck here, sometimes it's not doing it right now. I'm trying to find a spot. It'll feel like your skin is ripping. And it feels like there's a lot of tight fascia. So you might really benefit from having like a fascial massage, a fascial release massage, because that's what it feels like is you're holding on to it as the injury, but it actually feels like just your fascia kind of knitted together tightly. Also, if you can in your language, I have a lot of injuries, then you will always like it sort of stays there. It's like there's got to be language around it to sort of release that as ownership. So it might benefit you to look into doing some sort of fascial release massage. Yes, we're still doing the card readings. She did a quick thing. Um, so I don't know if that resonates for career, but it's like creating some sort of documents, or it's like there's a two thing. It's not just one thing that you're doing. I feel like I'm the one needing coaching, not sure. So remember that when you're teaching somebody, you don't have to be the expert. You just need to be one step ahead of them. Sometimes that's actually the best teacher as you're going through it. Like sometimes in life, you're not going to have just one teacher, right? You're going to have many teachers along the way. And sometimes the one that you need right away is not the one that's been doing it forever, because sometimes that person forgets like where you're at in the very, very beginning of something, or how to connect with that, because they forget those feelings. Not every teacher's like that, but so like some of the tips I give people for ice skating is not like, I can't teach you. Can't always see all the other things, but it's like literally like just push your legs into the front of your boots, like very basic things that are very helpful in the very beginning. I'm not teaching them, but it's like I just mentioned them. I'm like, hey, this is what I do. This is like the feeling I need. And even, when I started doing this, like I'm now further along, right? But like I had to remind myself, I don't have to be some sensei that's been doing it for 50 years in order to teach someone. I just need to be a little bit ahead of them. And I can still have opportunity to learn and be coached in other areas too. Although I'm like way above that now. I'm just kidding. Sorry, I would like move into like little weird voices. Do that all the time with my kids. And so above everything. Okay, I don't know. I think sometimes we get wrapped up in being passionate for things. And I feel like that's something that's sold to us. And so that then when things are calm and peaceful and not like this great drive, it's like, I'm a failure. Like, fuck that. Like, maybe you're, I don't know, or turning a passion into a job. Like when I would bake, because that was one of my crafting things. I really wanted to like get good at baking, and like find that one thing where when you bake, it's like, it's good. Uh, Understand how the food chemistry and stuff, and then decorating. And when I was doing it, people were like, "Oh my God, you should open a bakery." I was like, no, because I just want to like this, and like I know that if my passion turns into this, then I'll hate it. I pursued, I'm passionate about creative stuff, doesn't pay the bills stuff. It can pay the bills if you decide it. I mean, I know that sounds like, but if the rule is truly, if the rule is my beliefs create my reality, then like listen to what you're thinking. Be observant of what your thoughts are around stuff. Where do those beliefs come from? I could easily say like, I'll never make any money doing this because most people don't make any money. Well, why can't I be the outlier? Why shouldn't I be the outlier? Right? I mean, right at this very moment, am I sustaining a living doing this? No, but I also have not super focused on doing it because just too many other things right now that it's like it hasn't opened up to be that way. Although I did get a message apparently from my aunt last night in the circle. I was not expecting to get a circle message, and I'm apparently supposed to get on it, get my ass in gear because it's time. Because I help so many people, they say. Not to poo-poo what I do, but I'm always like, okay, I'll do it. Because it makes me be a little bit more out there. Okay. Right. Okay. So anybody else for card readings? I've got Tammy with Trust Your Vibes, Violets with Women of Myth, Monica with Dragon Tarot, and Be Early with Trust Your Vibes. Anyone else want a card reading? Should be a couple more of you if you want it. It's free. I'm going to start. If you put it in, that'd be great. All right, Tammy, you're up. This is for you. Whoop. What does Tammy need to know right now? What does Tammy need to know right now? Accept support, number 39. Trust your vibes for Jillian. Okay, you can expect significant progress if you align your focus with divine will. Proceed calmly with grace, ease, and humility. Move ahead naturally, gently, bending around obstacles and working with others rather than aggressively pushing your agenda forward. You have far more support than you are aware of, so there is no need to feel stressed or fearful. Ask qualified people for help. Many beautiful and loving forces are working behind the scenes on your behalf. Relax your defenses and open your heart so that these benevolent forces can come in. That was yours. So you can be open by affirming, like, I allow people to come in and help me. I allow the universe to help me. I allow myself to receive this help. Sometimes when we receive help and we're used to not taking it, we're used to being the helpers. This is the crux of being in healthcare and being driven to be the helper. Like, right. Tammy is like, you tend to not allow it for yourself, and simply just saying, like, I allow myself to receive from the universe. Because when it comes in, sometimes you're like, oh, no. And it's like, no, take it and run with it. Say thank you. That's it. Move on. Let people help you. Even if you know that you can do it yourself, just let somebody help you, because it allows that to keep, it like opens that energy up. I think about like this one time someone was like, oh, you have your hands full. Can I help you? And I was like I said, and thought about it. I was like, oh, okay. Because I didn't necessarily need it, but I took it because that's a way of allowing things to come in, way of like opening the energy to not be alone and not feel like you have to do everything by yourself. Violets, Women of Myth. That, like, extreme independence. All right, Violets for Sagittarius. This is yours. What does Violets need to know today? What does Violets need to know today? Violets, just really quick. I'm asking this because I felt my left ear open up, like that's sort of claircognizance, clairaudience from guides. And I feel like maybe you're getting more, your clairaudience is opening up. Does that resonate when I say that to you? Atalanta. I was gonna say Atlanta. Heroine the runner. Atalanta. Heroine the runner. Sorry. It's my daughter. Okay. Sorry. All right, let me find it. Hold on. That's goddess, heroine. Okay, here we go. Speed, focus, and efficiency. Her story. Abandoned as an infant for being a girl, Atalanta survives to become a fierce competitor who dares, any man who wants to marry her to beat her in a race. One Hippomenes finally does by distracting her with irresistible apples so he could be seen as her equal. Card meaning, timing matters right now. Things are rushing and moving fast. Take caution though, and avoid missteps or mistakes. Ask yourself if you're running towards your goal or away from them. Her advice, Atalanta urges you to focus on what matters and consider how, why, and when you do things. All good things come in time. Don't rush through life and miss the experiences. Sometimes roadblocks are blessings in disguise. Look at delays or setbacks as essential parts of the plot. Oh, thank you, Jillian. And specifically clairaudience from guides. So I don't feel like it's like loved ones I'm connecting with. I feel like wisdom and knowledge from guides. Monica asked for Dragon Path. Harmony. I think I've done that one before. 2. Harmony. You're welcome, Violets. Tomorrow is a new dawn, and being in our heart center ripples out with positive effect. Harmony is the first shy dragon I met. She was peeking out at me from behind a huge curtain when she first appeared to me. She's a quiet and considered being and is a lot less brash than some of the other dragons I have encountered. I asked her about her qualities, and she replied, I am the bringer of harmony, restorative of an interpersonal level and an outer global level. If you are wrestling with a problem that you are unable to resolve, ask her to bring her beautiful, harmonious influences to the situation and guide you in any steps you may need to take. If she has appeared to you today, she asks, what area of your life needs reviewing? What do you need to let go of? Is it judgments or old habits? What is in your life that needs harmonizing or reharmonizing? I will assist you in taking those first steps, supporting you as you go. Take some time to sit and contemplate your life as it is, and look honestly at what may require changing. It may be something quite small, just a little tweak, or it could be a life-changing event. She goes on to say, the answers you seek all lie within you, so sit quietly, ground yourself, be present, and reflect. Your inner knowing under my guidance will help bring the answers to the surface for you, she reminds us. Tomorrow is a new dawn, and being in our heart center ripples out with positive effect. She will often appear when there has been discord or upset. This can be personal or on a global scale. She is the harbinger of change, and her role is to bring harmony to the world. Oh, when I asked about the clairaudience, good. I'm glad that was a validation for you too, because you're welcome, Monica. I think sometimes, Monica, do you have something with your tooth here on the lower right? 1, 2, 3. 3 from the back. It's between the second and third from the back if you don't have a wisdom tooth. If you have a wisdom tooth, it would be the third and fourth from the back. Or yes. I don't know if it's just recent dental work, but I just kind of got like a little ping that I know it's not mine. I know it's an energetic connected to you. So if you don't have that, if it comes up, just make sure you get treated for it. Don't ignore it. Trust your vibes for Be Early. So this card is for Be Early. What does Be Early need for today? What is beneficial for Be Early today? Quick little note, Be Early. I feel like I just got like my throat chakra and my heart chakra and a connection to finding balance between the two. So throat chakra is your communication, you're receptive and you're expressive. Heart chakra is about how you give and receive love. And it's like finding a balance between the two. So finding a way to set your boundaries so that you're receiving the love that you desire. And also sort of from yourself too, like setting your own boundaries so that you're receiving love from yourself in the way that you desire. That's like your challenge right now. Hold on just a second. Let me pick your card. Get back to the body. Number 2. Your inner guidance is communicating with you loud and clear. However, you risk missing these necessary signals if you are stuck in your head because intuition is subtle and centered in your body. Take a break from overthinking, which leads nowhere and wastes your time. Focus on your body's basic needs instead. Get more rest. Drink more water. Eat greens and protein. Breathe, stretch, and move throughout the day. Relax and take mental breaks. This will lower your stress and open your intuitive channels. Intuitive direction will immediately improve the more you take good care of your body. Hi, Picky. Yeah, you can get a card. No problem. And then this one is for, so do you want me to read you my decks that I have quick, or did you hear them from earlier? This one is for Jillian. Trust your vibes. What does Jillian need to know today? What does Jillian need to know today? Pay attention. And I feel specifically to your third eye. So this is your clairvoyance. So your dreams, the little images and visions that you get that are quick hits in your head. Number 31. Pay attention to those because I feel like your clairvoyance is opening up for you. Stop what you're doing and notice what and who needs your attention and care. Start with the basics and move outward. Does your body need care? Do you need a better daily routine or a healthier diet? Do you need to stretch and move? Do your close relationships need your time and attention? How about your professional associates? Do they need more focus, involvement, and participation from you? This does not mean you must sacrifice yourself for others. This card simply suggests giving attention to the essential things in your life. They won't take care of themselves while you are checked out. Be practical and attend to what keeps you healthy and safe as well. Does your car need a tune-up? Do the tires need air? Does your home or apartment need repair? Do the locks work? Are the smoke alarm batteries charged? Focus on what your intuition has already alerted you to. Care for the things that take care of you right now. They may be neglected. Oh, Picky, the question you asked about a long-term stable career opportunity coming your way, that's a personal reading, and that is $12. 30% goes to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. I am done with those for today, so if you come back next week, you could ask it then. And if you're really pressing for it, I do $20 email. You can send it. You can do that through my website. But the $12 is only done here, and I do that cheap price because I feel like you're doing it live in front of everybody. It's not private. The cards I have, if you want a card reading, are the Dragon Path, Trust Your Vibes I just did, Enchanted Map, Women of Myth, the Green Witch Oracle, Woodland Wardens, Moonology, Spirit Animal, Past Life, Wisdom of the Oracle, Inner Child, and the Crystal. Please pick a deck, and I will be happy to draw a card for you. You're welcome, Jillian. Just waiting patiently. Impatiently, patiently. Sure, have a card. You want Trust Your Vibes? Okay, so Picky, while you're waiting to pick your card deck you want it from, I'm going to do Katrina's. What does Katrina need to know this week? What will be the most beneficial for Katrina this week? Beneficial for Katrina this week. Most beneficial for Katrina this week. Beneficial for Katrina this week. Find your people, 17. I don't know why 17 always seems like a significant number to me. Haven't quite figured that out yet. All right, find your people. Pay attention to who you spend time with and recognize the influence the company you keep is having on you. Be discerning and do not mingle with lower vibration people, as this strains your life force and vitality and derails your creative plans. Be perceptive and honest about the people you associate with and seek community with kindred spirits and uplifting folks. If you are enmeshed with negative relationships, disconnect and move on. Be honest with yourself. If the shoe doesn't fit when it comes to the community you find yourself in right now, admit it and let go. This includes scrutinizing the job you have, the friends you associate with, the places you go, and even your family of origin for genuine emotional support. There are genuinely supportive others who want the best for you. Protect yourself from those who aren't good for you, and do not particularly like or care about what's good for you. Good people are around. Notice who they are and reach out to them. Do not waste your time with people who do not see or support you, who you really are. They never will. Quietly move on. The thing I always struggle with is the idea of negatively vibrating people or people who aren't as high as you, because I feel like that's like such a weird, it's just think of it as like people you're not in alignment with. It takes that idea of like better than out. Because I think when we say, I think when we say negative, they're negative energy, they're low vibration. I feel like it puts you on a pedestal in a way. And truly, we like none of us is better than another. It's just alignment. Are we in the same alignment? And when you don't align, like things don't meet up, and it's just a mismatch. Let's do Green Witch, Cindy, since you put that first. Have a great weekend, Tammy. So this is for Cindy. What does Cindy need to know today? Sure, Stephanie, pick a deck. What does Cindy need to know today? What does Cindy need to know today? Okay, sorry. Yours is Butterfly. Transformation, joy, beauty, transience. You just have to find it. Let's see. Okay. Card meaning. Butterflies are commonly associated with beauty and joy. They are inspirational in their loveliness. But the journey they go through to achieve this metamorphosis is even more inspirational, if less pretty. Caterpillars must completely dissolve in the chrysalis, giving up their very physical selves in the process of transformation. Only once they have relinquished everything can their physical matter be resembled as butterflies. The idea of that much sacrifice can be overwhelming, even if the end result is glorious. Fear of change can also hold you back. Let the beauty and joy that await you inspire courage. Trust that achieving your goal will be worth it. The butterfly card urges you not to be afraid to let yourself grow and become something new. Reflection. Are you afraid to make a change, especially if this change means giving up parts of yourself in the process? Okay, Stephanie, what deck do you want a card from? Same thing with you, Picky. Did you want a deck? Please pick it. So I've got the Dragon Path, Green Witch, Moonology. What is this one? Woodland Wardens, Trust Your Vibes, Women of Myth, Enchanted Map, Spirit Animals, Past Life, Wisdom of the Oracle, Inner Child, or Crystal. Dragon deck for Stephanie. Perfect. Thank you for answering so quickly. All right. What is the card that Stephanie needs this week? What is the card that Stephanie needs this week? You're welcome, Cindy. I was given the number 7, so I don't know if that resonates for you. Freedom, number 10. If I hold it this way, then you can see it without the glare. Let go and trust the process of life and the universe. Freedom frequently appears when we have been kidding ourselves about a particular situation or scenario we find ourselves in. You may be feeling overwhelmed with responsibility or trapped by circumstance, or maybe it's simply a feeling of disquiet and anxiety. She says, open your heart and you will see the inner truth of any situation. Don't be afraid of truth, or it can be as liberating as it is healing. Change is the single constant in your world, and you have learned to fear that change. Let it go, for it is your gilded cage. Give yourself wings and come fly with me. You can only be truly free once you release your strong need to control. She continues, be brave, follow your inner guidance. Only you can set yourself free. Let go and trust the process of life and the universe. Take time out, free some time for you to dance, play music, get back to that yoga practice, listen to water, catch the wind in your hair, seek out a place of quiet solitude in nature. Sit quietly and simply be. You're welcome. Thank you for being a new subscriber. Okay. Picky, if you haven't picked one, you can come back next week. I will see y'all next week. I still will be here. I know it's Father's Day, but my girls will be with their dad, and I don't talk to my dad. So for those of you who want to join me, I will be here. I haven't decided if it'll be morning or afternoon yet. I'm not sure what my weekend is going to bring. So I will talk to y'all later.